Well, as long as there's been scientific inquiry, I assume there's been misinformation, disinformation, conspiracy theories. What does history teach us about how to combat this headwind to scientific innovation and building acceptance for transformative technological advancement and scientific advancements in general?
Well, science and conspiracy theories and fake news and so forth, they are not really contradictory. They exist side by side. Because in order to control, in order to manage any human society, science is never enough. Science tells us the truth, or the approximation of the truth about the world. But the truth almost never unites people. You cannot run for elections on a platform saying E equals MC squared. You can run on that platform, almost nobody would vote for you. To unite people, either politically, religiously, socially, you need to tell them a story. And the story doesn't need to be true at all. Many of the most successful stories in human history were fictions. Religious fictions, nationalist fictions, economic fictions. And it's still good enough. And people can keep both things at the same time. They can be extremely scientific and rational and logical when they come to solve a particular technical problem, and to be completely irrational and without almost any critical faculties when they are evaluating the basic mythologies and stories of their society, of their movement. But we sometimes have the hope that if people shut down the prefrontal cortex when dealing with these basic stories of their politics or whatever, then it means that they will be ineffective in other fields, so we don't need to fear them. But it doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, humans have this ability to selectively switch on and off their kind of critical and rational faculties, and therefore throughout history, you find this dual track cooperation. And similarly, people have this misguided notion. I remember that when the internet just came along, people had this idea that, we just now share more information, so this will inevitably lead to greater freedom and scientific thinking and rationality. And it didn't happen, because information isn't the truth. Fiction is also information. Fake news is also information, and it's not new. You look, for example, at the print revolution in early modern Europe. So the big blockbusters of the late 15th and early 16th century European book markets, they were not the scientific books of people like Copernicus and Galileo. They were do-it-yourself witch hunting manuals. This was the big craze of that time. All kinds of ridiculous conspiracies about witch hunting, which led to tens of thousands of people, mostly women, being tortured and murdered in terrible ways. And this was powered by this new mass communication technology of print. The same way that people say today, it's true, I saw it on YouTube. So imagine some town in 15th century or 16th century Germany that they are going witch hunting, and the leader says, it's true, I read it in a book. How can you doubt something that you read in a book? And it took a long time for people to realize, look, just because it's written in a book, it doesn't mean it's true. So we are now in the same situation with these new technologies, and I hope that our learning curve would be a bit quicker than with print.